Okay, now let us create this table. Okay, now from this actual table, we have normalized into three tables. So we will have in total three tables now. Table customer, table account, and table loan. Okay, so for that one, you can either go to, create the bank database. You can either go and create it from here, doesn't matter. Or if you know the query, you can go to the SQL query and then create it. So here, for example, this is my table, okay, table customer, where I'm saying customer ID is integer and it is auto incrementing, okay. Then name is varchar, it should not be not null, village not null, Zonka not null, and then I've specified that, okay, CID should be unique, okay, so you can also think it as a candidate key. Then I've defined that customer ID is the primary key. Okay, let us execute it. Okay, so now I have created the customer table. So I have customer ID, name, village, Songkhak, and CID. So from here I can see that, okay, since we have borrowed the customer ID from the customer table, so customer table is the parent table and account table is the child table. So since customer ID is borrowed from the customer table, okay, so that is why I have created the customer table first, okay, so that I can borrow this. Okay, now next we will create account table and then next loan. Okay, so let us go to the SQL query again, and then I've already written the query, so I'll just paste it. So table account, where I have customer ID is integer here. I've defined it should be same, matching. Okay, I mean the data type should be same. Okay, the in customer table also my customer ID is integer. Okay, in the account table also it should be integer. Then I have written that account number is a primary key. This is also one way of writing the primary key. In early example, we saw that we have defined separately below. This is also one way. Then I have balance as int again. Then by default, so here I have written null. You can also say 0 by default. You can say make it 0. 0 is also fine. So make me let me write it as 0. Okay. So by default, I wanted to put it 0. So initially, when the user or the customer create their account, initially their account should be 0. And later on, only if they deposit the money, then their account will increase, balance will increase. Okay, so balance initially is 0, by default it is 0. Then pin count, okay, is pin code is again varchar. Then here, this is how you define the relationship. Okay, so by executing this line, you will create a link between the table, account, and customer. So here I've specified that foreign key is customer ID. So this one is the customer ID, is the foreign key. References, that is, it is referred from table customer, where table customer has customer ID. So these two. Okay, in last class, also in previous class, I showed from this GUI how to create the relationship between the table, right? So this is another way using the query. Then this is the action on delete or on insert. Okay, so you can do it. So I'm saying my action is on delete. So I want to delete, okay, on delete I want to cascade, meaning when I delete from this account table, okay, I make sure that, okay, from the table customer, if I delete it here, then it should restrict, and then you should ask the, okay, whether you want to delete it from the account table or not. Okay, so it should be matching. If it is deleted in customer table, it should be deleted in the account table also. Okay, so on delete, the action is cascade. Okay, execute it, go, and I can see it is successful. Okay, now I can see there are two tables created. Account table, I have customer ID, account number, balance, pin code, and customer table, I have customer ID, name, village, Zonka, CID. Okay, and then if you go here, more, sorry, let me click the bank, and then go to more, and then if you check this designer, which will show all the relationship. So since I've created only 2 tables as of now, okay, I can see that there is a link created between these 2 tables. So this one shows that there is a link between this customer ID and customer ID here. Okay, and I can see from this picture there's a key, so this indicates the customer ID is a primary key here, and then here hash indicates a number, integer, right? And then here this is a key which is a primary key for this account table. Okay, and then here also you can see that CID has a key, but then okay, since it is unique, so you can also assume that it is, since a primary key is also unique, so you can assume that okay, the CID is it's not the primary key, but it is unique, similar to the primary key. Okay, so let us just focus on these 2. Okay, I'll assume that you will create the loan table by yourself. Okay, now we'll try to insert it. Okay, insert the information. So here I've already written the code. I'll just explain the code. Okay, login. So this is my login page. So as of now, I don't have anything in my account table and my customer table. So it is empty as of now. So what we'll do is we'll try to enter some data to our table and then see whether we can actually insert it. Okay, so let me register. So I don't have anything, so initially I have to register. So click on register. Let's say I'll take first, this is Nawangmo village, let's say Dewathang, Zongkak, let's say Samdu Zongkar, and let me take it. So make sure you do the validation also. I have already done it. Okay, just let me display it. Okay, login form. So if I click, okay, register, I've done here also. Login, please enter the account number and PIN number, right? If I say A1010, login, okay, and then you can see that I have retained the previously entered information. When I click login, right, it is not, you can see that the information is already inserted, the previous information. It is not blank, right? So, okay, similarly for registration also make sure you do the validation. When you click register, right, all information is required for individual. Okay, you can also, maybe you can not show it individual if this is shown. I mean the all error message, all are required. So if I say Sodam Wangmo register, again here also I can I have retained the previously entered information, right? Similarly, Dewathang, if I say register, I can see that the information is retained. Okay, similarly, Samdu Zongkar, I can see this information is written. So here PHP was not possible, so I used the JavaScript. I'll show it again. Let me show it. It is in the register validate. Register validate. Okay. So register validate for, where is it? Zongkak. Oh, not so. Register form. Okay. So register form. So here, okay, we have already done this one, so I'll not explain this one. In the value, this is how you retain the previously information, right? So here in Zongkak, so what I did was I have used the combination of PHP and JavaScript. So I first checked whether if Zongkak is set or not, right? That is from the from here, right? This Zongkak. If it is set, meaning I have retrieved the information here, right? If not, then this would be empty. Okay. So since, okay, so I'll check if it is set or not. If it is set, then I'll, okay, open the function. Open the if. So the PHP is opening here and then closing here. So this is JavaScript. So I have put inside the script. Okay. Here to here is a JavaScript, where within this JavaScript I have PHP. Okay, if is set Zonghak, I have opened the if, and then this is where I stop the PHP. Then I have JavaScript document.get element by ID dz. So here ID is my dz. Okay, and then I have written dot value is equal to, then I'm echoing. Now again I have inserted the PHP. So from here to here is PHP within this, okay, double quote. So what I'm doing here is I'm just echoing the Zonghak if this one is set, meaning somebody the user has already selected this Zonghak. So if it is selected, that means it is set. So if it is set, I'm going to display the value in this drop down, okay, and then close it. If not, I'll do nothing. So that's what I did it. So that's why I could, when I click register, I could see that some Zonghak is retained. Okay, then let us say so here I've taken, okay, let me show you 1010. So a CID, I have made sure that it is 11 numbers. If I say register, it will say please enter correct CID number. So if I say this one, so I can see it is total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So I have 11 digit, that is why it will accept it. Okay, so when I click register, okay, so here when I click register, that means I have to enter, right? I have to enter to, so it will first enter to customer table. Okay, so customer, sorry, so it will go to, maybe I'll keep it here. Okay, so it will first, name will go to the customer, sorry, customer ID. This is auto, so it will automatically increment. Then I have customer name, name will go here. Then I have village, village will go here, Zonghak, right? Then CID number. Okay, after entering to this one, what I'm supposed to do is, so by registering, that means the customer has created an account, right? So initially the account balance would be 0. Customer ID should be the one that is entered in this customer table, the first row, right? Customer ID should be here. Okay, this is the customer ID. Then account number will generate on your own. Okay, so we will use the same idea. So here my account number was A101. All right, so if customer ID is 1, account number is A101 and PIN code is 101. Okay, similarly customer ID is 2. So based on this customer ID, we are going to generate the account number and the PIN code. Okay, so later on maybe you can also define, okay, or change the PIN code. You can give the provision to change their PIN code. Okay, so first we have to insert to the customer table. After inserting to the customer table, make sure you insert to the account table. Okay, so we know how to generate the account number and PIN code. So this one, okay, you can define in when creating the database, or you can write it in the code. Okay, you can generate the code where you can enter, okay, generate as A101 if this account number is 1 and PIN code 101. Okay, so we will see it. So once it is registered, okay, register form, we'll go and validate this, all the information, make sure the patterns are checked. Okay, then if it is correct, what I have done is, okay, if all of this information is correct, okay, so I hope that you know how to do this one. Okay, so if all of the information, there is no error, okay, if the error name, so what I did was, maybe I'll just explain it. So first I have checked whether it is being the form has been submitted. If it is not submitted, I'll make sure that it go back to the register form and then ask the user to, okay, again register it, right? If it is not submitted, it will not directly go to the validate, okay, register validate page. Then if it is submitted, I'll get the information, okay, the username, village, Zonghak and CID, which can be empty or cannot be, may not be empty, right? Then make sure if there's any white space, trim it. I can either trim it when I receive it here also, okay, or I can do it separately here also. Then I have pattern for the name and CID. So for name it is all text, and then for CID it should be a number, right? And then the number should be of 11 digit, right? Starting, ending, okay, all numbers. That means it will not accept any characters or alphabets. Then I'm checking whether the username, okay, is empty, village is empty, something is empty. If it is empty, all are required, okay, fine. Then if it is not empty, we'll ask the enter the correct patterns, okay, check pattern. So now after that one, okay, is set error name, okay, that is for the name, error CID, that is for the CID, and then this for village. So that means if this is not set, okay, error name is not set, there is no error for the name or CID or the village, that means that all the patterns are correct, it is not empty, okay, and all the informations are there. So if all the informations are there, I'm going to, so you can write it here also. You can directly, okay, insert the information to the database. Since the page is becoming longer, the code is becoming longer, I have separated into a separate page, insert.php. Okay, so I have written input insert.php. So let us go and check our insert.php. So here in insert.php, okay, make sure you connect to the database if the connection is correct. This one I have just written to check whether, okay, to get the variable name, okay, so you can ignore this one. So if it is connection is successful, so first is you have to insert to the table, database table, sorry, customer, you have to insert to the customer table, okay. So this is my query, insert into table customer. This is, let me show the table again. Okay, so my customer table, I have customer ID, which is auto, so I have not written the customer ID here. In fact, I have directly written the column name, that is name, village, Songkhak, CID. So I have name, village, Songkhak, CID. Then I have value. So this is the value, username, right? Since I have included in this page, right, include inside this page, so that means this information is available in my insert.php also. So here, that is why I can directly use the variable, okay, name, okay, follow the same, since it is a varchar, so inside the single quote, okay. Similarly, village is also varchar, right, village is also varchar, you can also see here, okay, village is varchar, so it is again in the single inverted. Songkhak is also varchar inside the single quote, again CID, same, okay. Now this is my query, okay. Now I can execute the query. If it is successful, right, if it is entered in the parent, then only you will be entering into the child, okay. If there is no customer one, and then if you directly say customer one has balance, okay, 0, then this is wrong. So make sure that, okay, parent table is inserted. So customer table is inserted. If it is true, that means if there is if the insertion is successful, okay, then you're going to insert to the account table, okay, and then make sure that, okay, the correct customer ID is being inserted to the account table, right? So here, let me show you. So if I have inserted, let's say I have inserted the first row here, okay, I have automatically I have incremented, okay, number 1, okay, then I have entered the name, Songkhak, okay, CID, then so I have to pick up this one, right, that this information, the customer ID information, can be retrieved from this customer table only, okay, and then insert to the account table. So that's what I did, okay. So in this example, I have tried to retrieve the customer ID. So select customer ID from the customer table, where CID, since CID is unique, I can use this CID, right? CID, no, I've defined CID as unique, that means it will not allow duplicate CID number, Okay, that is why I can use where CID is. That means it will pick up only one row. Okay, I can execute the query. Now I'm using this, okay, fetch association. Well, a dollar row is equal to fetch this association. Okay, MySQL fetch association will pick up, okay, if there is a row. If it is correct, if this query is correct, that means one row will be displayed. Now this row, what I'm doing is I'm storing it in the customer number. Okay, my variable name is customer num, where customer ID, okay, row of customer ID will be stored. Okay, then according to this customer number, let's say the customer number is 1 here, for example, the customer ID picked up is this one, customer ID picked up is 1. So based on this one, I have to define the account number and PIN code. Okay, so here 1 is the last one, right? This is same, A101, A10, right? A10, A10, A10. Only this one is incrementing, last one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what I did. So A10 will be remaining constant. Then the last number will be the one that is the customer number. So it would be, if I display this one, it would be A10. So if I have picked up here 1, then this one would be 1. So if I have picked up as 2, then this would be A102. Okay, similarly, your pin code would be 10. Okay, the starting would be 10, then customer number. Customer number is 1, so it would be 1. Okay, so similarly here, so 10 remains same every time. Okay, 10 remains same, only the last number changes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it depends upon how you design it. Okay, you may find different ways of defining the patterns. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. So now I've defined the account number. Okay, I've generated the account number, I've generated the PIN code. Okay, and I have the customer ID. Now I can directly insert to my account table. Okay, so query insert into table account. Okay, customer ID, account number, then PIN code, values. So customer ID is the customer number, which is this one, what I have retrieved from the database, right? So this one, if I have picked up 1 will be inserted, and account number will be this one, this account, which is by this one it will generate as if the customer ID is 1, then it would be A101. Okay, then PIN, again PIN 101. Okay, 10 and the customer ID 1. Okay, so this will be inserted initially. So whatever according to the customer ID, the value of your account number and PIN code will change. So here I have not defined the balance. Okay, so balance by default we're assuming that it would be 0. Okay, later on if you deposit, then your balance will increment or will be added. Okay, so that is why I have defined the column head. Okay, customer ID, account number, PIN code. So accordingly the information will be added, and to the balance null will be added. Okay, then execute this query. Okay, if it is successful, okay, if it is successful, so what I'm trying to do here is, okay, I've included the header, I've included the footer. Okay, and then immediately after this one I want to stop the script execution. That's why I have used the tie function. Okay, now here what I'm trying to do is, okay, I'm displaying, okay, please note down the credential to log in. Your account number is this number, right? And then your PIN code number is this number. Okay, whatever I have generated, and then maybe you can click to log in to check your account. Okay, so after that one, since header I have provided header, that means I'll have this the menu, right? So I can directly click on the login, and then I can log into my website using this account number and PIN code. Okay. Okay, so this is the insertion, right? Okay, fine. Let us execute it. So I've this is my registration page, right? I have the CID number correct, 11 digit. Let us register. Okay, so before that, let us see, my customer table is empty as of now, account table is empty as of now. Let us register. Now I can see that, right? So this is what happened. Okay, this information is being displayed since I've included the header, right? So I have this header, then I have included the footer, I have this footer, right? So please note down this credential to log in. Your account number is A101. Okay, your pin code is 101. Okay, and then you can click on this login. Let us go and check our database. Let's see whether information has been inserted or not. Click on customer. I can see one. So now, okay, with this CID is entered. Let us check in our account table with this CID one. Okay, click on account table. And I can see 101, balance is 0, right? Account 101 is inserted. Okay, now let us try and log in 101, right? Click on login. So A101, login 101. Okay, login. So once you log in, you're supposed to go to the profile page. Okay, for now I've just created the link, right? So this one login, also make sure that you check it, okay, if there is information here or not. So login, you have to check, okay, check the account number. This one, for login I have used this table to verify whether the customer is a valid user or not. I've checked the account number and the pin code. If it is correct, if it is in the database, then you're able to log in. Okay, so for example this one, so you can check your balance inquiry. So I have not done as of now. There's it doesn't work. Okay, so you're supposed to create it. Okay, so when you click on balance inquiry, you should go and check. So currently it is 0, so you should say your balance, current balance is 0, say, right? Then when you click on mini statement, if you don't have any, okay, transaction, so for that one also you have to create another table. Okay, if there's any transaction, then you have to show the transaction. Fund transfer will be deducted from this balance. If it is 0, then you should say you cannot transfer any fund as of now since your balance is 0. Or if your fund transfer amount is greater than balance, right? Then withdraw. Again same, withdraw, you can withdraw only if you have account, right? Balance more than 0, right? And then your withdraw account amount should not exceed the balance, right? Then deposit. So when you click on deposit, this table should be updated where, okay, you have to use the update query, and then the balance will be changed from 0 to whatever amount you have deposited. Okay, so that's how it works. So I hope you all will continue and then finish these tasks.